Today I'm going to be showing you my 4-2-3-1 custom tactics. This formation is really good on new and old gen and is arguably the most balanced formation on FIFA 23. What you get from it is a really fluid attack with a middle cam and two wide options, and it's very important that you have a certain striker in this formation. You can see on the screen what we did use to go rank 1, 19-1 in champs, and they were played on both old and new gen for this week. And yeah, this is the team. Of course, now there's a few players like Mahrez, for example, is at right mid, but he was in right wing when we did play this formation. And I'm going to go through all of the players and why I like them and what I think is really important to make this formation extremely good. For cheap FIFA 23 coins, make sure to check out MMOEXP.com to get fast and reliable coins. And make sure you use code VIPER at checkout, get yourself a 5% discount. With that being said, guys, let's get into the actual custom tactics and instructions. First of all, guys, as we go into the instructions, just want to go through the team and why I've got the players in the certain areas and what I think is important for the certain positions in the team. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the fullbacks. And the fullbacks in this formation, and for me, are very, very good passers. Alex Telles is a great passer. And of course, Klaus has a 99 passing. And what you end up seeing happening quite a lot in the 4-2-3-1 is you link up with your Lam and Ram from your fullbacks very often. So Klaus with Ketelaere and Telles with Mbappe. There's a lot of 1-2s, a lot of over the tops, trying to get in behind with the Lam and Ram. And that is why we have two really good passes there. Of course, Klaus is brilliant for it. His over the tops, his through balls, down to get Ketelaere into the byline kind of area is insane. And the thing about Ketelaere is he's really, really strong. Not only is he really strong, he's really good in the air. Mbappe is also really strong as well. And I've also applied an architect to Kylian Mbappe to push up his strength even more and his passing. Because of course, once you get down the byline, you're going to need that good passing to be able to find one of the options into the box. So that is why we've got the players that we do have in the team. And then for the CDMs, guys, you like to have one that's good going forward. In this case, it's Xabi Alonso. He's not the best at going forward, but he is okay in that kind of area. And then Thuram is there just strictly to defend. With the middle cam as well, guys, I really think it's important to at least have a 4-star weak foot. And if you do skill moves, making sure you have a 5-star skiller in there as well. And making sure they're good passes. Mahrez is a great passer with great dribbling, 5-star skills and a 4-star weak foot, with the outside foot shot and the finesse shot trait. And with that being said, guys, let's get into the instructions. So first of all, Diego Forlan, he is on stay central, getting behind and stay forward. Now in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, I like to have my strikers on no stay forward, just stay central and getting behind. But in this formation, it's very different. And the thing about Forlan that I really like, he's got great dribbling, he's got 4-star, 4-star, but he's able to hold up the ball really nicely too. He's got good physicality stats, he's got okay passing, which makes him really good in that area for just like kind of holding up the play and being able to get into behind if you need him to get into behind. So making sure you have somebody up front that's got the ability to hold up the play and is able to run in behind like Diego Forlan is going to be important. I think Mario Balotelli is quite good at this. I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic is really good at this. Ketelaere is really good at it as well. Players like that, they're able to hold up the play, find a good pass, go in behind if they need to, is very important to this formation. And of course, stay central, getting behind and stay forward on your striker is important. For your middle cam, stay forward on him and stay on edge of the box for cross. So he's on the kind of D area and he's able to take a shot if needed. You know, he's in that position there where if you want to do a cut back to him, he is available for you. And Mahrez has got great shooting overall. I really like having somebody here that's able to do almost everything in that role. Not really need to be strong, but the passing is important. And of course, the dribbling is really important too. Now, two wide players are just on get into box for cross. Usually people have these on comeback on defense. I don't think you need it on this game. So just basic defensive support there. They do support defensively, but not as much as comeback on defense. And if you do have comeback on defense on, you really are just looking for Mahrez and Forlan or your middle cam and your striker. And it doesn't work very well. It's not very fluid. And that is the issue you will have if you have these on comeback on defense. Stay forward is too aggressive. You leave too much of a gap there and it's hard to find the passes out almost, I would say. So having these on just basic defensive support is going to be the best for you. And the reason for getting to the box for cross is for the byline. So when you're running down into the byline with Ketelaere, Mbappe is going to be into the box and vice versa. So that is why we like to have them on get into the box for cross. Now for Thuram, he is on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking and cover centre. Of course, I mentioned earlier that Thuram is our defensive option, our DM in this formation. And is meant to stay back and mop up and deal with all of the lanes and, you know, cutting off the lanes, which is important to this formation as well. And Thuram is there as your really stay back CDM. So I like to have them on stay back while attacking. Drop between defenders is okay as well, but I think they sit too deep then. So having them on just stay back while attacking does suffice for me. And Xabi Alonso, who is our kind of box-to-box CDM here, is just on cover centre. And the reason just for cover centre on him is because, you know, you've got your wide areas covered from your Ram, Lam, left back and right back. So you don't really need to put him on cover wing. So cover centre, just to kind of mop up in the middle of the park is important. Allow him to go forward, whoever this may be in your team, and just allow them to kind of pick passes around and get involved in the attack if need be. And our fullbacks are just both on stay back while attacking. So the reason they want to stay back while attacking is because you want them back, but they've got a good passing range, so they're able to find your Ram and Lam. And that's, as I said earlier, where you're going to get most of your joy in this formation is from fullback to Ram and Lam. So making sure you have these on stay back while attacking and making sure they're good passers is going to be important. With that being said, guys, let's get into the actual custom tactics. All right, guys, so as we move into the custom tactics, you can see that we're on balance for defensive style. Pressure on heavy touch is okay. Press after possession loss is way too aggressive in the 4-2-3-1, and constant pressure is an absolute no-go. Drop back allows too much pressure on. So your options here are pressure on heavy touch, which is okay, but your team kind of stagnates a little bit in my experience using the pressure on heavy touch. It doesn't really do anything until there's a heavy touch, so this is okay. But it's a little bit too, you stagnate a little bit in this tactic if there's no bad touches. Well, there is a lot, I suppose, for new gen FIFA, so if you want to try that out, you be my guest, but balanced is the one that I've gone for and the one that I like the most. 50 width on the defensive side as well. Once again, as I always explain, you go too wide, you're just going to get a hit in the middle against diamond formations, the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, which is my other favourite formation. You want to check out the custom tactics for that, that is on the channel. If you go too narrow, you're just going to get hit down the flanks against a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, for example. So making sure this is at the kind of middle point is very important. 45 or 55 is going to be okay for you, but don't change it too much outside of that. Depth is nice and high on this for me, and 65 because I've got really fast defenders. And I like to play offside traps quite a lot. So having this high, so the line's already really high, is good because I want to dominate the game, and the offside traps and the high depth are going to help me do that. And of course, my two centre-backs here are ridiculous. I've got Eder Militao and Virgil van Dijk Team of the Year, so they're able to completely mop up when needed. You don't really need to have anything else on there, really, guys, to be honest. But that is why I like to have my depth a little bit higher. And if you have really fast centre-backs, you go for that. If not, drop it down to like 60, 55 kind of area, and you'll be fine there too. Fast build-up, once again, for the attacking side of things, fast build-up is the best tactic on this game in my personal opinion. Lots of options going forward, lots of bodies, and people are looking to counter-attack, and this is really good for counter-attacking as well. As long as you're able to find the right passes, good player locks, so on and so forth, the fast build-up will be the king for you. And then for your chance creation, we've got direct passing. Now I actually really quite like forward runs in the 4-2-3-1, but direct passing is definitely my favourite still. The reason I really like this is because people come to feet and then they look to spin in behind. So the direct passing mixed with the fast build-up works really, really well and is a great combination of tactics overall. Since I've been playing FIFA 23, this has been the thing I can go for. And if you want something that's a bit more defensive, you just go for like long ball on the build-up play and then go for balance on the chance creation, and you'll be fine with that. And that's probably the more defensive option for this formation if you want to try that out as well. And then the width, I've gone for 55. Now, usually in the 4-2-3-1, I like to have this a lot higher. But from my experience, you know, you get your width from the Ram and Lam and your fullbacks, and everything else needs to be somewhat narrow. So having this a little bit higher up, just for the Ram, Lam, left back and right back, is good. But then you've got to remember the rest of the formation, you want to stay narrow. So having this a little bit higher to compensate for what I've just said, and then the rest being narrow, is very, very nice. Players in the box, always on 6 for me. Keeping 4-3 there, and you get lots of players in the box for the bylines there and the general crosses, so that is really good as well. In corners and free kicks, guys, I've always kept on 2. No real reason for it. I just have my corner tactics set up with 2 from there, and free kicks is completely up to you. You can have this on whatever the hell you want. It doesn't really matter. But corners is basically dependent on what kind of style and tactic you have from your corner. So for me, that's 2, and you don't have to change that based on what I do. But this is the team once again, guys. The 4-2-3-1 is a great formation right now. It's very, very solid, and you can really pick your opponent apart in a 4-2-3-1. Yes, it's got its issues. Yes, you don't have the 2 strikers. A lot of people like having the 2 strikers, myself included. But I found a lot of joy from the 4-2-3-1 at this weekend league, and it was my favourite formation and did get me to rank 1, guys. So Very, very good. Works on both old and new gen. Let me know if you tried them out. Let me know what you think of them. But guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss a video. But guys, that's going to be it from me for now, so take care.